Managua, Beirut, Bangkok, Cape Town, Cairo, London, Lima, Paris. NBC Nightly News with Tom Brokaw. Tuned into the world.
Here at Twin City Tire, we spend a lot of time answering questions. And that's fine with us because the more you learn, the more you'll come to trust Twin City Tire. So don't be shy, just pick up the phone and call us with the make and model of your car or truck. That's all we need to help you choose from the largest selection of name brand and private label tires in town, all at the lowest possible prices. There's lots more to tell you, so call us or come see us. We're Twin City Tire, 494 at Lindale in Richfield.
Our huge spring sell-a-thon is going on right now, right here at Burnsville Nissan on Buck Hill Road. Call us now, 435-5550. You'll find deals like this all day long. A brand new 1987 Sentra, and look at that, 66 down, 126 a month, or a low $59.66. Now, we're open every Friday and Saturday night till 9 o'clock for your shopping convenience, but you can't save money if you don't come on by and see us here at Burnsville Nissan on Buck Hill Road.
John Bachman on News 11 Sunrise.
Hi, we're the last-minute tax preparers at H&R Block in Golden Valley.
Good morning, 11 Country.
Now, the Twin Cities' fastest-growing television news, News 11 Sunrise. With John Bachman, Amy Powell, Steve Carroll on sports, and the weather with Roy Finden.
Good morning. Welcome to Sunrise. Wednesday, April 5th, the Ides of April, if there is such a thing.
Ides of April, I'd never heard of those.
I hadn't either until just this moment.
Well, you made it up, didn't you, John?
Welcome.
Tax day.
Yes, it is
Tax
indeed.
day.
That's the real meaning of April 15th.
That's right.
I was trying to put a nice light on things.
I'm sorry, I just went right to it, didn't I?
49 degrees. Roy Finden with us. Good morning, Roy.
Hi,
Good morning.
Roy.
Good morning. I think tax day is one of those that has nothing to do with the weather. So whatever the weather, it's going to be the same. And speaking of the same, it's going to be rather like it was yesterday. And I'll give you the whole picture in just a bit.
Can it be that windy, too?
No.
Oh,
less
good.
wind. Thank
Okay, good. Thank you, Roy. More details later. Topping Sunrise, though, the deadline to file tax returns is less than 24 hours away.
And midnight marks the last hour. Most people will be able to drop those returns in the mail. At H&R Block in Golden Valley, the lights were burning brightly. And as News 11's Carolyn Marinan tells us, the work going on inside was very taxing.
Busy seller things.
Okay, that promptly...
Income taxes and last-minute rush, the two go hand in hand. All of these forms and flurry of figures would be enough to make anyone dizzy. But for the people at H&R Block in Golden Valley, well, it's just another April 15th. And pushing buttons and pencils goes well into the early morning hours. A lot of last-minute filers are looking for extensions, hoping to put off paying Uncle Sam. If you're one of those people, forget it, because you'll still have to make a check out for whatever you figure you'll owe. Many taxpayers, however, seem to think an extension means a break from dipping into their pockets.
They just think that by filing an extension, they can extend the time for paying, and that is not true. It only extends the time for filing the tax return, the forms itself.
No matter how many deadlines roll around, the nights get long and the numbers hypnotic. So while they work, they pump down a few cups of coffee and munch on a little pizza. But what really keeps these tax specialists going is knowing April 15th only comes once a year. For Sunrise, Carolyn Marinan, News 11, Golden Valley.
About 1/4 of American taxpayers wait until the last week to complete their returns.
Other companies are feeling the tax crunch this morning as they rush to make the deadline. Fidelity Investments, which sells retirement accounts, says it'll be open late into the night tonight, putting together IRA plans for taxpayers. They'll be working late so that last-minute tax filers can get those last-minute deductions. Fire leaves a family of 5 homeless this morning in Lakeville. Flames shot through the roof and clouds of smoke billowed into the air as crews battled the blaze. Officials say the fire began in the living room of the house on Kodiak Avenue. 2 people were home at the time of the fire. They are safe thanks to a smoke detector.
it probably saved lives. The young folks were sleeping in the lower level, which is a walkout, and they heard the smoke alarms go off, and they were able to exit the house safely.
Firefighters fought the blaze for more than an hour. Damages are estimated at around $250,000. The cause under investigation.
A chase in Anoka County has one man in custody this morning. The chase ended in Wyoming Township on the border of Anoka County after the driver hit a utility pole and smashed through a fence. Police say the chase began after they tried to stop the suspect for speeding. Power lines were knocked down during the incident. The suspect suffered minor injuries. He is expected to be charged with DWI and fleeing a police officer. A car accident that killed a woman and her unborn child has a man in jail this morning. The driver of the red car, Matthew Anderson, ran from the accident Friday night. Anderson is charged with leaving the scene of a fatal accident. Police told News 11 he has other warrants against him, including one for burglary. He is in Hennepin County Jail.
The condition of an Anoka construction worker has been upgraded to fair following an accident under investigation this morning. 41-year-old Denny Cottrell was lowered from an office building under construction near Normandale Lake in Bloomington. He was trapped beneath a crane that snapped in half. Safety investigators say wind may have played a part in that accident. They expect to know more today. A bridge collapse in New York has investigators closer to home working this morning. Minnesota officials are looking into which of the state's bridges were built like the one that collapsed. And this was a scene last week after a section of Interstate 90 gave way over a swollen river. At least 3 are dead. Officials plan to identify by May 1st those Minnesota bridges that might collapse.
State lawmakers finished their work week today before beginning a long Easter weekend, leaving only 4 more weeks to tie up loose ends. Capitol correspondent Dennis Stauffer has a preview of the work scheduled for today.
Good morning. The House and Senate meet in a rare joint session this afternoon. The purpose is to elect members of the University of Minnesota's Board of Regents. A Senate committee will discuss a bill that would establish a statewide cancer surveillance system. Most other committees are now talking about various aspects of the proposed state budget, including several proposals to raise taxes. Governor Perpich will be traveling around the state today, continuing a series of news conferences he began yesterday to pitch his programs. That's a look at what's coming up at the legislature for this Wednesday. For Sunrise, I'm Dennis Stauffer at the state capitol.
The House and Senate will meet in a joint session for University of Minnesota Regent selection this afternoon at 1.
A plan to cut suburban busing has been passed by the Minneapolis School Board. Currently, 1,000 students are being bused to 16 private schools outside the city limits. The school board says by cutting the program, $500,000 will be saved. A proposal to give students 95 cents per day for public transportation is up for vote. And last night's meeting, even private school parents did not agree on the issue.
If we make a cut now to save a few dollars, or in this case a few $100,000, in bus charges this year, it will take very, very few of those parents coming back into the public school system to wipe out all of those savings and to lose permanently for the city special opportunities that may not ever be regained.
In fact, the schools should not subsidize that system at all. Whatever the difference is between what the state gives the school system and the real cost should be passed on to the parents of the private school children and to that private school system so that we may, in fact, pay our share of those costs.
Another school board meeting will be held in 2 weeks. Another plan to cut down busing costs goes into effect next fall. The plan changes school day hours. For schools that teach grades 7 through 12, the day begins at 7:20 a.m. and ends at 1:50 in the afternoon. For kindergarten through 3rd grade and 6th grade schools, classes begin at 8:30 and end at 2:45 p.m. And for those schools that are kindergarten through 8th grade and 4th through 6th grade, the day begins at 9:20 in the morning, ends at 3:35 in the afternoon. The new school times will save more than $1 million in busing costs.
It was raining by my house on the way to work this morning. By the time I got here, it wasn't raining. Is that going to be that kind of a day?
Must have been, yeah,
yes.
real scattered.
Rather like yesterday. Call that an intermittent shower. That's a classic example of it, and we're having some of that. We'll look at it on the radar and get the whole picture, the broad spectrum.
Right here?
Right.
On our show?
Right here.
Wow. Right.
The current temperature, it's a nice mild one again. 49, there's some light rain at the airport, wind from the north at 13. The dew point is 40, the relative humidity 71%, and the pressure this morning is at 29.8 and has been steady, showing signs of rising. Here it is. Let's glance at the radar together and see where some of those scattered showers are. Well, about the same place that they were yesterday, as a matter of fact, stretching from down near Faribault up to Amory and through the southern sections of the metro area, and slowly being rotated in this direction. We're being in the same position as we were yesterday relative to the system that is producing it. So it's kind of sliding into the metro area, so you can, this is all light rain, will not be lasting very long, much like yesterday's was. And we look at the satellite picture, and we'll find pretty much the same view that we saw yesterday. Here's the large swirl of clouds, and there we are on the edge of the swirl again. By later this afternoon, we will just have made our way away from the edge, and so we're expecting some clearing by this afternoon with temperature getting into the 60s, but the center of low pressure still being generally in the neighborhood. So the Twin City forecast for today has those sprinkles this morning and clearing in the afternoon, 64 to 69, the expected high, with a northeast wind only 10 to 15, not like yesterday. Tonight, partly cloudy, 43 to 47. And winds becoming light and variable. And then for tomorrow, a mostly sunny day, but breezy and a bit warmer, up around 70 degrees, and the winds coming around from the west to the northwest.
But the sun makes a return eventually.
Looks that way.
Great.
Okay, thanks, Roy.
Thanks, Roy. Next on Sunrise, how the dollar did against the yen overnight.
And how you can make sure next year's tax-paying time goes better than this year's. We'll be right back.
It's my Water Bedroom's giant waterbed sale. Look it over. It's an 8-page color flyer filled with great values on waterbeds, complete bedroom sets, and bedding. Like the Hickory Valley bedroom set, just $7.99 complete. Or the Trimline, a mirrored headboard waterbed for just $149. Soft side waterbeds start at only $2.99. The prices in my 8-page flyer end this Monday at 9 p.m. If you haven't received a copy, stop into any Water Bedroom superstore and pick one up.
Come and see Good Value Homes. We believe in keeping prices low.
When you're ready for something special, come and see. Updated kitchens, luxury bathrooms, family rooms to stretch out in. For the extra details you want, the quality you expect, at the price you can't afford, turn to the people you know you can trust. Good Value Homes.
See Good Value Homes.
Check your weekend papers for details. Good Value Homes.
Hi, I'm Bob Keeshan, Captain Kangaroo. You know, in many ways, kids will always be the same, but times change. This era presents children and parents with an entirely new set of challenges, and that's why TV 11 is presenting For Kids' Sake, a series of special programs and messages about issues that matter to you and yours. Sit down together with your children to watch, learn, and enjoy for your sake, for kids' sake, right here on TV 11.
Sunrise time is 6:11. This morning, National Highway Traffic Safety officials say they may appeal a court decision ruling in favor of General Motors. Now, GM's 1980 Model X cars will not be recalled because of alleged rear brake defects. A federal judge's decision ended a 2-year battle between GM and the government. The judge says there's insufficient evidence to prove a design defect.
Well, the U.S. dollar had a poor showing in the opening round on the Tokyo Foreign Exchange. It was the dollar's 8th record low in the last 17 trading days. Kara King has more on the dollar and the yen and what happened in the early morning trading. Good morning.
Good morning, John. Good morning, Amy.
Hi, Kara.
Well, the dollar opened at the 140 level for the first time since the current exchange rate system was established after World War II. And it closed in Tokyo at 141.85 yen this morning. Carl Hall, USA Today newspaper money reporter, says that's good for the economy in the long run.
But the consumer has to pay the price at the store and at the auto lots. Anything made in Japan is going to cost more dollars because the Japanese get fewer dollars when they make a sale, so presumably they'll have to raise their price. Japanese businessmen say 150 yen against the dollar is what they need to make a profit. So prices on a lot of imports are going up at double-digit rates.
Hall says the higher prices could mean consumers will switch to American-made products. With yesterday's falling dollar, this morning in London, investors scurried to buy gold, which historically has proven to be a safe investment. Gold prices have been soaring. And today, London gold opened at $447 an ounce. That's up $5.50 from yesterday's close. The stock market opens this morning amidst disappointing trade figures and worries about the dollar, which kept the stock market heading downward for the most part yesterday. After a slight recovery, the Dow ended the day down more than 34 points to close at 2252.98. Trading was heavy, with more than 266 million shares trading hands. In our business outlook this morning, the Commerce Department reports on retail sales for March. An hour later, the Federal Reserve Board reports on industrial production for March, although this report may be delayed. And at 10 a.m., the Commerce Department will issue a report on February inventories. Easter is just 4 days away, and the countdown has local businesses hustling to provide the essentials that Easter Bunny helpers need. In this report by Andrea Shane, the sound of last-minute shoppers fills the stores as the mad dash to fill empty Easter baskets goes on.
It is the crowded aisle in most stores right now, the one that is stocked with Easter candy. People are making last-minute purchases, and they're finding that there are all types of chocolates to choose from. But if you don't want the candy to lead to cavities,
there are alternatives. Even Peter the Rabbit is getting in on the Easter action.
There are Easter flowers, festive piñatas, and of course, Easter dresses. But the biggest seller is the candy that is sweet enough to make any Easter a hoppy Easter. For Sunrise, Andrea Shane, News 11, Minnetonka.
And Amy and John, I've been up all night working on this one for you. I'm one of the Easter Bunny's helpers.
It's funny. You think they believe that out there?
I don't think they do.
This doesn't look like I made it.
It is cute. Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Jelly beans in there that I can get to if we open this up.
There you
Wait
go.
a minute, don't I get some?
You have
No.
to share. Oh, John.
Thanks, Kara. Now that most of you have your 1986 tax returns on the way to the IRS, Steve Crowley says don't sit back and relax. Crowley says it's time to plan new strategies for the year ahead.
Speak. There you go.
Jean Silveri just filed her 86 tax return last week. She'll get back a small refund. Medical deductions she claimed for her 10-year-old Ricky made the difference. Jean's an insurance agent, and she's trying to learn the new tax laws. Jean's worried about what she's learned so far. Worried tax reform is taking away a lot of the deductions she used to depend on.
Unfortunately, since they have limited the expenses that you're able to take anymore, and of course they've, cut down on the medical, that is going to affect us somewhat next year.
For Jean and her family, this year's plan starts with buying a home. They're renting now, have no deductions for mortgage interest or taxes. Under tax reform, homeowners really come out ahead. And the Silveris are cutting down on consumer interest before tax reform eliminates it altogether. For 87, we can claim 65% of the interest we pay on our loans and credit cards. In 88, it'll be down to 40%.
We have cut credit cards, not just cut the use, we've cut them in half and just pretty much put them away. We're not going to be putting that much on credit anymore, trying to pay more things in cash.
And Jean's learning how to keep good records on her spending. She's pregnant now, worried about getting above the new 7.5% floor on medical expenses for 1987. So she's keeping all receipts and logging mileage to and from the doctor's office. Jean's in sales, so she does a lot of driving for her job. Listing her business miles and entertainment expenses is more important than ever. Tax reform chops these back too, so every penny counts. A big part of planning this year includes the new W-4 withholding form. Even the shorter revised version of this form takes some time to fill out. But if we don't do it right, we could lose the refund we normally get, or worse yet, end up owing Uncle Sam. I'm Steve Crowley with your Money Report.
And if you have any questions for Steve, his address is Money Mailbag, Box 111, Minneapolis 55440.
Still to come this morning on Sunrise, more charges in the Moscow spy scandal.
A new challenge for U.S. farm trade.
If you're having eggs for breakfast, you want to see our report on how eggs affect your health.
And if you wondered about the Twins game last night in Oakland, stay tuned. We'll show you the highlights when we return.
We're Town & Country Dodge, and even though we're Minnesota's newest Dodge dealer, we're all pros when it comes to saving you money.
Like discounts of up to $1,200 on new Caravans.
Now yours for just $12,857 or $254 a month.
Plus Chrysler 770 protection, the best in the business.
Now save up to $1,200 on Caravan, the van that really packs it all in.
Tom, Caravan would be perfect to take shopping.
Oh no, now I've done it.
Town & Country Dodge in Hopkins. Call 935-3371.
Hi, my name is Jerry Burkhart, and they own the Waterbed Warehouses. Remember, at Waterbed Warehouse, you pay less, a lot less. And here's 3 more good examples. Deluxe bookcase, just $179. Big selection of soft sides from $249. And a nice selection of canopy beds starting at just $799. Remember, if you don't buy your waterbed from us, you'll probably just get...
I guess you could say I had everything. I had a good job, beautiful house. I had a wonderful wife and 2 great kids. I also had a cocaine habit. First it cost me my job, then it cost me my house. And before I got help and stop, it cost me my family. I guess I'm lucky. Still got my health.
Last year, Bill York began a new job and a new life because it's never too late for a new beginning.
49 degrees this morning, now 18 minutes past the hour.
The Twins held on last night, but it got kind of scary, didn't it?
Yeah, barely. Nothing like having a 7-0 lead and then pulling out the victory towards the tail end.
I couldn't believe it this morning, the final score. When I turned in, it was 7-zip.
7-zip, another victory in the bag. But
all right.
There is joy in Twinsville this morning as the hometown team is back on track. The Twins have put another game in the win column. Victory number 6 on the year against just 2 losses. Minnesota outslugging the A's in the late game in Oakland. The final was 9-8. Keith Atherton got the win in relief. Starter Chris Cotteroli took the loss for Oakland. Same 2 teams this afternoon. Twin slugger Kirby Puckett had an off night. He went 0 for 3, but still hit the ball well. Dwayne Murphy making a nice catch to rob Puckett of a sure extra base hit. Puckett, by the way, the only Twins player without a hit during the game. Twins blew the game wide open for a while anyway in the 4th when Ken Herbeck drove one into the left center field gap. Murphy couldn't come up with it this time. 2 runs came in to score. The Twins erupted for 5 runs as Herbie ended up with a double. The Twins led 7-zip after 3.5 innings. But Oakland chipped away at that lead using the long ball. Former Gopher and New Ulm native Terry Steinbach unloaded with his first home run of the year to right center. A 2-run shot to make it 7-4, but the Twins hold on to pull it out by the score of 9-8. Other scores now. Seattle topped California 6-4. Toronto got by Chicago in 13. Kansas City bombed Detroit 10-1. Bo Jackson 2 homers and tied a club record with 7 RBIs. The Yankees 10-6 over Cleveland. Boston topped Texas. And the Brew Crew has done it again. Milwaukee now 8-0 after beating Baltimore 7-4. In that game, Milwaukee had built up a 4-1 lead when Baltimore tried to get back into the game. Cal Ripken Jr. drilled a 2-run homer to left to cut the Brewers' lead to 4-3. But that was as close as the Orioles would get because Milwaukee played home run derby with Baltimore, blasting 5 homers. This solo blast by Rob Deere put the Brewers in command for good, leading. At this point, it was 5-3. The defensive play of the game turned in by Milwaukee shortstop Dale Swaim. A diving stop coming up here. Then, while on one knee, he throws to first to get Alan Wiggins. Milwaukee is red hot. They win it by a score of 7-4. Over in the National League now, not a single team is as hot as Milwaukee, but Cincinnati is off to a great start. The Reds are 6-1 on the year after beating Atlanta 6-3. The Dodgers bumped off Houston in 12. San Francisco squeaked by San Diego. Montreal a 9-4 win over St. Louis, and the Mets defeated Philadelphia 7-5. While the baseball season is just starting a new campaign, the season is over for another hockey team. The Los Angeles Kings have been eliminated from the Stanley Cup playoffs, losing in 5 games to Edmonton. The Oilers clinched the series 4-1 by beating LA in a close one 5-4. In the other Smythe Division playoff, Calgary beat Winnipeg, but the Jets lead that series 3-2. In Washington, some great goaltending by Islander goalie Kelly Rudy. Dave Christian with a wide-open net, but Rudy lunges to get his stick on the puck. A great save there. A bit later, Rudy gets some help from his friend, Mr. Goal Pipe. Once again, it's Christian with a shot. The puck hits the pipe and bounces out. New York maintained their 2-zip lead. It was 2-all in the third period when the Islanders' Greg Gilbert put it away out front. The Islanders go on to win that one 4-2, as we see on the scoreboard. Caps lead that series, 3-2. Elsewhere in the Patrick Division, Philadelphia has moved to within the game of the Rangers with a 3-1 win. And in the North Division, Toronto surprised St. Louis to take a 3-2 lead in games, and Quebec outscored Hartford 7-5. The Nordiques lead that series 3-2. And some notes: the Strikers play at Chicago tonight, a big game for Minnesota as they fight for a playoff spot. And this is truly hard to believe, but a Boston TV station is reporting, are you ready for this, a rematch between middleweight champion Sugar Ray Leonard and marvelous Marvin Hagler is almost set. They say the bout would take place September 14th. In Las Vegas. I find that hard to believe.
I'm not surprised. Be about $15 million each.
Yeah.
Well, seems like it's set
that'll
up.
Do it, won't it?
Okay. Thanks, Steve.
Today is Wednesday, April 15th, and on this day in 1945, the nation said goodbye to one of its most popular presidents.
Franklin Roosevelt was buried at Hyde Park, New York. Roosevelt had become a national figure 30 years earlier as Assistant Navy Secretary under President Wilson. FDR became president in 1933 and remained in the White House for another 12 years. His sudden death in Warm Springs, Georgia, shocked the nation. The man who had led the nation out of a depression and through most of World War II died of a cerebral hemorrhage.
Also on this day in history, an ill-fated maiden voyage. In 1912, the Titanic sank in the North Atlantic less than 3 hours after striking an iceberg. And in 1817, the first American school for the deaf opened in Hartford, Connecticut.
And if today is your birthday, happy birthday. You share it with Chicago's mayor, a country singer, and an actress. Mayor Harold Washington is 65 today. Roy Clark of Hee Haw is 54, and actress Elizabeth Montgomery is 54 also.
And your horoscope for today says it will take detective work to get to the bottom of things. Take a few moments to recharge yourself emotionally.
Like a couple weeks, maybe.
Oh, that sounds good.
Coming up, changes and challenges for farm trade.
And today's traffic trouble spots. Stay with us.
I come over here often. Well, my whole family really likes music. And it seems like we're always needing a boombox or a handheld tape player or something for some member of the family. My husband's favorite store. He loves to come here. And he'll stay for hours if I let him.
If you suffer from back pain due to strain, tension, or poor posture, Back Ease can help. Use it a few minutes daily, either lying down or sitting. Then Back Ease's scientifically tested orthopedic design will put the natural curve back in your spine and get you back on the go. It's guaranteed to work or your money back, and it's only $19.95. Get one now. Call 1-800-682-3816, extension 6018. Back Ease for natural relief from back pain without prescription drugs or high doctor bills.
You are looking at a map of metropolitan St. Paul and Minneapolis, outlined by a 100-mile circle of the Twin Cities area. Terry Feldman Nissan is your only Twin Cities Nissan dealer within this 100-mile circle to sell you America's #1 selling import, Nissan. Terry Feldman Nissan is located 2 minutes west of the airport on 494. Terry Feldman Nissan is open all day Saturday for parts and service. Terry Feldman Nissan, 2 minutes west of the airport on 494.
On the next, for Kids' Sake Special, the situations are hypothetical, but they reflect real problems.
Principals are afraid, superintendents are afraid, the school board's afraid. Everybody's passing the buck on troublesome kids, and the kids are allowed to stay in school.
Join Harvard Law Professor Charles Nesson and a panel of leading educators in a discussion of issues and problems facing American education today. See School on Trial, Tuesday, April 28th on TV 11.
46 degrees at 6:26. There aren't any major traffic trouble spots this morning, but here are some minor delays. Eastbound Highway 12 at 494, the right lane will be closed from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for bridge construction. Also, westbound 494 from 24th and Cedar Avenues, the right lane will be closed from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So do expect some minor delays.
Yeah, I thought for a second the way you began there, we weren't going to have any delays at all.
No.
I knew that couldn't.
Oh, of course
it doesn't work that way. Not this time of year.
No, we have sprinkles. Speaking of this time of year, we have some sprinkles this morning. It's April 15th. It's time to look at the precipitation ledger and see how we're doing.
Okay.
We'll do that.
We'll do that with you.
Monthly, here we are. These are the normals, normal monthly. And as we get into spring, of course, the monthly averages increase. Here's what we have been putting in the credit column so far this year. And you can see that it's way below normal, including this month, when the average monthly total would be 2 inches. And so far, we have added a trace. Today, as we look over the country, here are the prospects for significant precipitation. And you see they do not include us. Major rainfall down there in the southeast where they've been having some severe weather. And as a matter of fact, there's a risk of severe weather in that area for today, including a severe thunderstorm watch that's out for parts of the Carolinas and Georgia. They've had some golf ball size hail near Augusta already this morning. Here in the Twin Cities, compared to that, of course, it's tranquil. Some light rain at the airport. The temperature is 46 degrees, wind from the north at 9. The dew point temperature is 43, relative humidity is 89%, and the pressure is steady at 29.80. Here's today's surface map that shows us an area of low pressure that is closer to us than it was yesterday, but still close enough in our area and producing much the same thing that it produced yesterday. We are expecting cloudiness, and there's a slow movement of that away and a building in of high pressure beginning tomorrow, which will dry things out a little bit. And that's all it will take, is a little bit, because after all, we haven't been that wet, though it has been cloudy. Let's take a look at the view from space, and sure enough, major swirl of clouds that is covering the whole midsection of the country. And again, put ourselves right on the edge of those clouds, get them to move a little bit, and we'll have even a little more sunshine than peeked at us from yesterday. Here's the radar this morning. The Doppler 11 is showing us that there is a line of showers that is stretching all through the southeastern sections of the metro area, slowly being rotated in this direction, and some that